you want to, accomplish good return on your money, if you want to have some tax write-off, etc., I would be happy to sit down and evaluate some options, some opportunities I'm working at. Those are all producing great return.
So let's talk about the evolution of your business, because it was interesting, because you've gone through a similar path as me in the sense that you started as a solopreneur and then eventually you decided to partner up. First off, what made you change on partnerships? And then how did you choose your partners?
Oh yeah, partnership is a hard one because having a partnership, having a company together is different from partnering on a deal, joint venture. That's a lot easier because it's a loose relationships. It's more transactional based, one deal by deal. And I was not ready to find a partner because, I'm used to being my own boss. I work at my own schedule. I do things that I doing. And to even start, but I also know my long-term vision for my wholesale is to become a nationwide franchise company. So in the back of my mind, I know, okay, in order to achieve that, I need to, partner with someone who are minded and have similar vision and goal. So I know that, but I feel like never being ready for that. So I need to thank John Momo. They actually helped me to take that step forward, because they reached out to me sometime earlier this year saying, they do see some synergy in terms of partnering together. And then it opened up the conversation. And then again, get used to or push myself into uncomfortable situation and test and trial. And then that partnership luckily went pretty well. And now, I'm more of a business owner running a business as opposed to be the wholesaler who is calling, doing everything day in and day out. So I would say noticing have the clarity of your goal. What do you want? Some people, if you just want to make 10, 20K per month and use it as a, side hustle for some extra money, then maybe you don't need to have a partner. You want to better use your time on some other business and you don't want to be held by a partner to commit to something. That's totally fine. That's your goal. But my goal is to build it into empire, a gigantic operation. And to do that, I realized I need a partner. So again, what's needed for the business and what is your dislike is a two different thing. And I'm willing to just step out of my comfort zone and do what's required, what's necessary. And good people. Go ahead.
Sorry. So how do you choose a partner? How do you know who's going to be a good partner for you? Because obviously that can happen where you choose a partner, it doesn't work out, or that happens to most people. What makes a good partner and what makes a bad partner? Or how do you know who's going to be a good partner for you?
Yeah, so there's a difference between partnership and accountability partner. Accountability partner can be someone doing same or even different thing, but just hold each other accountable in terms of communicating each plan and giving updates. And if the other party is not performing, kind of give them the truth and tell them, hey, you are not delivering your promise to yourself, basically. So that's accountability partner. But for partnership, it requires complementary skill set, characteristics, and personality, and then also a land vision and a land goal. So a lot of people can be my accountability partner, but not everybody can be my partner, like in a partnership. So I would say first of all is a skill set. I don't want to find someone who is doing exact what I am doing or enjoy doing what I am doing and good at what I am doing, but for the things that I'm not so good at, they're also not so good at. I don't want to find someone like that. And secondarily is the personality. For example, if you are very indecisive, you don't want to find someone who is even more indecisive. You maybe want to find someone who is willing to take the driver's seat and make decisions for the team. Or if you are very impatient on things, you want to find someone have that patience to, especially in a stressful situation, have that patience to actually solve the problem. So things like that. I want to find someone who is complementary on personality at the base level, but for certain critical things, we are aligned. For example, being fast. That's my personality, and that's also what required for the business to be successful. So you can be, patient or whatever, being slow on other things. But when it comes to business, I want it to be super quick, super fast, get things done, execute immediately. And the last one is align the vision. Again, if you want to build an empire or just get some side hustle money on the side, you want to find someone share that vision. The worst thing would be, okay, you are thinking about building an empire, and someone just think, okay, this week I did a deal, I'm good, I'm chilling now. That would be the disaster.
Gotcha. So then why would someone want to build an empire versus a side hustle, right? I mean, people think that they want to build an empire, right? But then they don't think about why they want to build an empire or why they should build an empire, right?
Mhm.
What's your why, Helena? Why do you want to build an empire versus just making 10 to 20K to you every single month? That's a decent amount of money, right? Why would someone want to build an empire?
So you mean empire for wholesale specifically, or just, in general of doing things?
Anything, whatever you're doing, right? I mean, you're starting to we're going to get into it, but you're starting to get into multifamily. You're creating an insanely cool wholesaling business in Florida, which will soon be nationwide, right? That you're going to
Mhm.
franchise. I know this because I know your partner really well also. So, but why do all of that? Why do all of that if you can get 10 to 20K a month, right? Because I just think people need to understand that to be able to achieve those things, there has to be a deeper why as to why
Mhm.
you're doing any of it. So I'm
Yeah,
just curious what's the why.
for sure. And there's really no right or wrong either way. For some people, even the whole country, their goal is to just, be able to enjoy life and spend more time with the family. So when you ask them why do you make money, because they want to enjoy life and spend time with family, but they are doing that already. So why, job what they eventually want to accomplish and just focus on making money. So that's totally fine. And but for me is doing something as big as possible. First of all, that's just my personality. I'm a very competitive person. I always want to be the as fast as I could, be the top 1%. That's just my personality. I cannot just stand myself being complacent. It's just not who I am, first of all. Secondarily is it's my family, because I left my home when I was very young, and I never had the luxury of spending time with my family. It's just always me, one person, since I was a kid. So, and they are always so supportive of whatever decision I make. So I have been extraordinarily grateful for them. So I want to try my best to provide them, to just give back as much as possible, materially, spiritually, time wise. I want to just give everything to them as much as I can. And last but not least, I think is I'm having fun with doing business. I enjoy what I do. So it's not like I'm working. This is literally my passion. And when I'm doing what I'm passionate about, I just want to do it big. So I think it's just, personality. And my goal is to actually run a really large operation as opposed to just make enough money and then enjoy life. That's not the lifestyle I'm pursuing, but it's totally fine. Someone like that, there's no right or wrong again. It's just not who I am. And also, provide the life and the material side and the time freedom so that I can spend more time with my family.
So have you thought of a number? What's the number where I've hit the goal? What
So
is
it's
the
a
goal?
moving target. It's a moving target, right? You always want more once you achieve something.
What's the
Uh,
target right now?
my target right now would be, so for wholesale business would be 1 million per month. That's from wholesale only. Yeah, and from other multifamily, and other business, buying businesses and stuff, that's just additional. So I would think 5 million per month is my first goal.
Love it. And that's revenue, right? With everything.
Of
Say.
the net profit, because let's say for our wholesale model we don't do too much marketing, right? So essentially the overhead is pretty low, but I would say that would be the net to me, not the company revenue. Let's say if I have a partner, it's not 5 million toys. I have 5 million, he has 5 million.
Love it. cool. No, I love it. And then so what are your guys' business goals right now other than money related? So where do you guys want to go? Where do you guys want to go right now with the wholesaling and the multifamily, to be honest? We'll talk about multifamily a little bit. How'd you start getting into multifamily?
For me, is I make a decision, then I start in the next second, literally right away. So I always wanted to do multifamily, but similar to many, many people, I have the belief, or I would say the mindset that I need to go through single family one at a time and then smaller multifamily, getting comfortable with it, and then go big multifamily. Then I found myself have been stuck with single family for several years. It's just always a mental barrier again. Of course, it's a lot riskier and don't feel as comfortable and confident when I go into multifamily because that's unfamiliar field. But you know, I realized that's where I eventually want to go. And there is really nothing to lose. I have nothing to wait anymore. I wait for 2, 3 years, and now I just feel it's the best time to take actions. It's now or never. And so I start doing that right away. And then again, listening to books, watching some courses to have the basic knowledge of the multifamily. And then I realized for multifamily, it's a sports game, it's a team's game. I mean, real estate in general is a team game, but especially for multifamily, it's all about who you know, the connections. You can know nothing about multifamily, but get into a deal because you know the right people, and then you can learn along the way. So networking is more important for multifamily compared to other real estate strategy, single family. So I went to a lot of meetup events, conferences, mastermind, just get to know people doing all kinds of things in multifamily and then figure out, okay, what is the one that what are some major hats to wear, major roles, major responsibilities, and who I am, what I enjoy doing, and which one I want to take on, and which one can help me get into the game the quickest compared the soonest compared to doing a different task. Maybe I also, but my current goal is I want to get into deals quickly. So which strategy I want to take to accomplish that, and just also my personality traits, my past skill set, experiences to figure out what's the best match for me to start doing. And you can always pivot later on. Let's see if after you master one task or one skill, one part of the multifamily, you can always expand into another one and keep building that skill set.
Which one did you choose? What is
Yeah,
this?
so for multifamily, it has a lot of component. I'm focusing on sourcing and investor relation because sourcing is kind of, so my wholesale experience is applicable to sourcing in terms of speaking with broker, getting deals from seller, wholesaler. So acquisition part is always and also I have kind of like a hunting personality. So I have to go out and hunt for stuff. And underwriting is part of it too, because of my, investment banker background, my Wall Street background. I feel very comfortable with wholesale. So underwriting large multifamily is something that I can get my hands on quickly and feel comfortable with. But down the road, I do see myself pivot away from underwriting. I will hire someone to do it full time. I just want to be super good at it and then delegate that part. But there are certain things I don't want to delegate. So there's certain things I do want to delegate, and underwriting is something that I do want to delegate. So sourcing side and then investor relation, because for me is raise money from raise capital from other people is helping them to be successful in their finance, in their personal finance too. I would love to help people in that way. And also, it's more about education process. You teach them this and that, and then they make a decision for themselves. But I do the perspective of spreading knowledge, providing opportunities, and help them become successful financially too. So those are the two things I want to focus on for now. And later on down the road, after I build up my sales team on the sourcing side, I do want to take on more asset management because just how important it is as an operator to actually deliver the business plan we promised to investor. And I want to be good at that. And yeah, so that, in the future, I can basically look at deals from different angles, from different components, maybe turn some no deal into a deal because I have the capability and know how to do things differently.
I love it. I love it so much. So then what would you feel are the most common fears? I'm gonna veer off a little bit into something different. What are the common things you see people tripping up, especially with wholesaling, right when they're starting with that? What do you feel trips up most people? And what do you feel the solution to that is?
I think they set the wrong expectation. They think it's gonna be easy. Like you just flip a piece of paper.
Right.
You don't need to do anything, and you make 20K, 30K. The unrealistic expectation is definitely something like tripping. And also, expect an easy way. Depending on your goal, again, if you aim high, it's not gonna be easy. For example, it's a numbers, it's a volume game. You need to make enough phone calls. But like if you are a crying baby after making 5 calls per day and crying about not getting a result, of course we're not getting. If it's so easy, then everybody's successful in wholesaling business. And so having the right expectation. And also a lot of time I say if you cancel contract, whatever, they call it a failure. I never see it as a failure. It's just the nature of the business. You need to go through that. It's just what it is. It's the nature of the business. And so I think unrealistic expectation and consider every single, not even challenge, literally just the nature of the business as a failure, or if they did something wrong, then they start self-sabotaging. Oh, why am I doing wrong? Why am I keep failing? Why am I not successful yet? All those kind of mental issues start going on. So I think those are two biggest trips.
I love it. I love it so much. So we're coming to the end of the podcast because I've been traveling, so my sleep schedule, my entire schedule has been screwed up. Helena has been so patient with me because we were supposed to do this last night and I completely screwed it up. But she's being patient with me, but she has a meeting in 5 minutes. So, Helena, when you were if you could go back to yourself right when you were starting off in real estate, knowing everything that you know now, what would you tell your past self, knowing everything that you know now?
That's a good question. And I would say, first of all, this is the path that if you want to do big, you cannot go alone. So give more trust to the right people. That's critical to me just because I'm controlling, I'm doing everything myself. So give more trust to the right people and find the right partner that is having, aligned vision and goal and everything. That's first of all. Secondarily, I would say bigger doesn't mean more complicated. So don't feel we need to go through a certain path, like from single family to small single family to multifamily. If you want to do something, talk with people in that industry and test it out. It doesn't have to be a progression because, again, more number of units doesn't mean it's way more complicated. If that's where you eventually want to go, I wouldn't recommend my old self to wait for 4 or 5 years before tapping into it, just because from the numbers perspective, is kind of intimidating.
Right. Makes sense. I love it. And then, yeah, so then Helena, what are you working on? What do you want to plug? What do you want people to go to so that they can contact you, that they can send you deals? Where are you looking for deals? Give us everything you want to plug real quick, and I'm going to put it in the chat for people.
Yeah, sure. So we are doing wholesale deals all over Florida. So anything, in Florida, from single family to large, small multifamily to land, we are either the buyer or we can sell it very easily, very quickly. So if you have any wholesale deals, if you need a buy number, if you need help with negotiation, feel free to send it my way. You can send it to my email, deals@abundancereg.org. And so that's for my wholesale side. And for multifamily, I'm looking to
Dot
help
org.
people. .org, yeah. .org, O-R-G.
Yeah,
Yeah,
completely. I
.org
was
would
like,
be cool.
yeah, right.
Yeah, .org. And for multifamily, if you have deals, multifamily, either, creative or just traditional like syndication stuff, that you can send it to me. I'm interested in Sunbelt and Midwest market. So that's on the sourcing side. But if you want to, accomplish good return on your money, if you want to have some tax write-off, etc., I would be happy to sit down and evaluate some options, some opportunities I'm working at. Those are all producing great return. And I have something for everybody because I know each person has different investment goals. So when I select the opportunities, I make sure I have something for everybody. So if you want to invest with me on multifamily, I'm also happy to chat.
I love it. I love it. And then, guys, you can follow her at Helena Wu, right? And then
Mhm.
just your name on Instagram. And then, do you have a YouTube channel yet?
No, it's coming soon. We're doing a
Okay.
YouTube
You're
channel.
gonna have a YouTube channel, but follow her on Instagram for now. DM her on Instagram. Tell her how much you love this podcast, all that stuff. Guys, comment and subscribe, obviously, to the channel if you want to see more amazing guests, Helena Wu, and you want to be notified about when we're doing Skorch the Fears. Because this one, I feel we had 10 people come on, which is around the average of what we usually have. But generally, if you guys are subscribed and you put the note and click the notification bell, you'll know exactly when these things are happening, even if I'm traveling. So 100%, you guys should 100% do that. And then Helena, do you have any last words for the people before I wrap this up?
Yeah, I just, overcome the, uncomfortableness and do things that you feel uncomfortable, because when you feel uncomfortable, when you feel nervous, most likely you are doing something right. And then another thing on the pivot side, when pivot, don't, my personal advice is don't do a 180-degree change. Start testing, test and trial where you are keep doing what you are doing. And when you have the confirmation, a new strategy or whatever is better for you, that's when you can do a like complete pivot.
I love it. I love it so much. Helena, thank you so much for coming on. Guys, this is Skorch the Fears. We'll be back. I don't even know if we're going to be back on the regular schedule next week because I'm going to be still traveling all around. Check out what's happening on my Instagram. I'm going to be in Atlanta Sunday at noon, Putt Nation. Go to my IG if you want to check out details for that. And then I'll be in Miami next week as well. I'll be in Dallas for a little bit for a CRM conference. So if you're in Dallas and you're interested in hanging out, hit me up. And yeah, and Helena, you absolutely killed it. And this is Scorch the Fears, episode 95. Let's go.